And I think the ball's out. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well.
Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture.
Snap comes at 1, and it's Allen. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
Great, set. Delta.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
And that's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks, and you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case,
and that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. Eagles offense staying out there. Of course, Hurts always a threat to run. They'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. Well, split the difference, and they're right where they would have been with 2 PATs. They got the 2-point conversion the first time. They failed there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the first time you go after your first score, that feels like a gamble. The second time when they tried it again, that felt like, what the heck, right? Because, as you said, even if you miss it, you split the difference, and you're right on schedule at 14 points.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be sterner with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Here's 2nd and 10. Coleman, the man in motion right. Allen now looks to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Now Allen. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. It is picked up by the Eagles. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Great, set. Delta.
Here's Hurts to throw. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. There he goes left side. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. Well, I mean, it hadn't been a picture-perfect first half for this defense to this point, but that's a big play to get them right back in the ballgame.
And I think that changes their mind frame. Now they're saying to themselves, hey, we're still in this. And even though our offense hasn't done anything, we've had our troubles on our own right, we still made a play right there that could change the course of this game. Great job delivering.
And now the Bills will bring the offense out onto the field and go for two here. So after the INT, it's Allen. Flush to his right. Shakes off the sack. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Now they can't bring him down. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him because...
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway.
Inside the 20, Saquon Barkley.
Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley, 72 yards.
And the Eagles go up by 2 touchdowns.
And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Well, now how about this return? And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game. For here's where the breaks are made, is the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
Here's Allen to throw it.
This to the tight end, Kincaid.
And oh, he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown.
Dalton Kincaid.
45 yards.
And the Bills are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
So now Allen and the Bills going to stay out and go for 2.
They'll try and run it here. And he will get into the end zone. So that shaves 2 more off the deficit as they now trail by 5.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Great, set. Delta.
They'll go to Barkley again. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
It hurts not coming to the sideline. They're going to go for it.
They're going to try and throw.
Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Pick made by Terrell Bernard.
And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will not get there as the try for 2 is unsuccessful. And they will remain down by a point.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with a 1-point lead, you'd have to think they'll be looking just to get this to halftime. Hurts now hoping to make up for that pick 6.
He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Great, set. Crowd, let's get it.
Hurts.
Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to send this one deep right side.
And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. Rasul Douglas picks it, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And a nice return, but he's going to pay for it as they knock him down hard at the end. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
3rd down and 6.
Again, it's Barkley. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Flushed out right. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. Cook up the gut.
That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills first down. Now a give running right. It's Cook. Able to fight through one tackle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
They'll run with Cook. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown.
James Cook.
A 9-yard touchdown run.
And the Bills have taken the lead here in this third quarter. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown, so now you feel like they really need to respond.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field.
Saquon Barkley.
Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Eagles are an extra point away from drawing level.
And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Eagles offense staying out there. Of course, Hurts always a threat to run. They'll go for 2.
They're going to run it with Barkley. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And he returns this to the 22.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Jordan Davis, just a monster on that play, stopping it from going anywhere.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Allen. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on third down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll roll him out right.
That is incomplete.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Allen, got to have this one. Rolling to his right.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
A new lease on life after the 4th down conversion. Here's 1st and 10.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook.
And able to get this to the 31.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Here's Cook again.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
60 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
Allen going to change the look here.
From the gun on 3rd down, Allen. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Well, let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. One final try here for Allen. He'll buy some time right. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Well, certainly not how they drew it up. A 4th down gamble turns into a 4th down scramble, but all is well. 1st down. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he loses the football a second time.
Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game.
Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
2nd down, goal to go. Now Allen, Cook.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1.
At this stage, you've got to hustle, got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
This crowd doing all they can. Here's 3rd and goal. Cook is in. Touchdown, Bills.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with a touchdown run to take the lead.
So now an important conversion attempt here as the Bills line up to go for 2. They're going to try and run. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Silver, set. Great, set. Delta.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down.
A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
No touch that. Crowd left, Yeti. No touch.
They'll look to throw. They find some open field here. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
They're not out of it yet, but in order to come back, they need to play clean football the rest of the way. He makes the correct read there, passing on challenging a blanket coverage and getting the first down with his legs instead.
The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
No touch that. No touch.
Up the middle with Barkley.
Taken down at the 47-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Crowd left, Yeti. No touch.
He's back to throw. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
No touch.
Back to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it's caught. It's a touchdown with zeros on the clock. And an extra point will send us to OT.
Well, there's no doubt they just seized the momentum with that one. They can go ahead and kick the extra point here and ride that home wave on into overtime.
And now the decision is to go for 2. A gutsy call, and this, in effect, is your ball game right here. They're going to try and run for it. And he is in. The call works, and they have won the football game. So let's recap. How about the guts in this one? You score on the final play, Thought they were just going to try the PAT and tie it, send it to overtime. Charles, they went for 2, and they won it right there.
Well, the book, right? You know the book that everyone plays by, right?
Yep.
That